Guess that's a door.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
It's always plenty. How does it feel? How does one feel?
Wrong.
Serving an instrument of corporate supremacy? Let me hazard a guess. You're talking about the church. Isn't it true the OSI is just a cog in the machine of oppression? I'm glad you're asking questions, Felix. Curiosity is the foundation of the scientician faith. Don't try and convert me, preacher.
Hey, what are you doing here? This is our secret alley. Berta already pissed by those crates to market.
Oh, goody. I know you murdered Isaac.
Listen, that purple-toothed twerp had it coming. Not that anyone has proof. And not that it's any of your business.
Wrong answer.
Heads up, boss! I'll never leave you alone!
Load!
Everyone all right?
There we go. Loot the leg. Oh my god, that guy has no arms, legs, or a head. You guys are dust. Big hit for peeing on a crate.
A fine day for business, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Anyway, what can I do for you?
Isaac Rose is dead. I found the people who killed him.
But that's terrible. What happened?
I take care of it. The killers are dead.
But that means we won't be able to log their testimonies. If there's one thing I've been hoping to re-establish in Stellar Bay, it's proper documentation for legal matters.
Sometimes you gotta take matters in your own hands. Maybe I could have gotten their statement if they hadn't been trying or ready to kill me.
Always a shame when tempers get the better of good sense. Still, your intervention in the matter is much appreciated. Please
Bits.
consider this payment for your services.
Questions about the MSI and the good old days.
Then it's good that I keep such meticulous notes.
How did they get kicked off the board in the first place?
I've asked myself the same thing many times, especially seeing as the legal mechanisms we employed were part of the board's own bylaws.
You mean that you initiated your own removal from the board?
Not intentionally, though that's technically true. For many years, this planet was home to as many corporations as Terra 2. But back then, it was known as Terra 1.
What happened to the other corporations?
As you may have noticed, this planet has more than its share of hazards. And as the other corporations began to tally their losses, they decided to pull out.
Not MSI, right?
Our leadership at the time certainly wanted to.
And how did that work out?
Most regard Monarch as a lost cause. But there were others of us who saw an opportunity. The chance to improve working hours and conditions, to reform MSI from the ground up.
How forward thinking of you.
It's humane, but it's also good business sense. Exhausted, sick, and malnourished workers are not productive workers. Even a cursory review of the data bears that out. Anyway, we learned of a loophole in the corporate bylaws that would allow MSI to claim ownership of the entire planet once the other corporations pulled out, creating the perfect environment for us to enact these new reforms.
Think your leadership didn't embrace your ideas.
No, they laughed in our faces and insisted we'd be relocating to Terra 2, along with everyone else.
Yet here you are.
Yes, some of us stayed behind, and as the most senior executive remaining, I ended up in charge of what was left of MSI. I moved forward with our planned reforms, as well as our strategy to assume ownership of the planet. Yet not long after I renamed it Monarch, the other corporations dislodged us from the board and began an official campaign to paint us as lawless savages.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Everything we did was legal and above board. We followed their rules, and yet they still found reasons to declare us outlaws.
Your first mistake was expecting the board to cut you a fair deal.
I understand the sentiment, but if we can't rely on some sort of framework, then what
These
do we
two not
have?
get along.
I do think there's something useful in a governing body like the board. Something that keeps us from anarchy, but I dearly wish it functioned differently.
What's the hazard call?
It's a legal provision that gives the board the authority to cordon off any planet or location that it deems dangerous.
Sounds like the board gave themselves the power to arrest an entire planet.
They would say it's for the greater good.
They invoked it on Mars.
Yes, making all of MSI criminals in the board's eyes. Rather hard to run a business that way.
Why exactly do you want to get back on the board?
Why wouldn't anyone? They own nearly all the resources and infrastructure in Halcyon.
Yeah, and once you go back to him, he'll own your dignity too.
Without the board, chaos would overtake the system. Working within the established order isn't a principle to snub one's nose at, Captain.
To be on the board is to be part of the colonial community, and being cut off means slow strangulation.
They've treated you pretty roughly. Is it worth going back to that?
I'm not a man to put pride before progress. If membership on the board can ease our hardships and provide us with opportunities, then that's the path I mean to pursue. Besides, I'm hopeful that additional leverage on our part will allow us a more equitable relationship.
Leverage?
Don't get ahead of yourself, sir.
Yes, it'll be easier to explain once we have the Bolt 52. My hope is to maintain the reforms we've managed here, and who knows? Perhaps once we're restored, we could spread them to other corporations.
You don't seem to think much of Graham.
He and his followers call themselves the Iconoclasts. Lawless anarchists, all of them. If anyone on Monarch deserves the reputation the board's pinned on us, it's them.
I will admit, I am keen to meet their leader.
Well, be careful what you wish for. Graham has a habit of ruining everything, and everyone around him.
I'm pretty bad.
It isn't just that they drain our people and resources. Every radical act they commit cements Halcyon's image of us all as destructive rebels, and pushes us further from the rest of the colony.
So, what's the downside?
Shall I begin with the supply shortages, or the subtle but constant threat of annihilation? He's lucky the board doesn't take him seriously enough to keep more than a few UDL gunships patrolling Monarch.
An Earth Directorate assault cruiser would change his tune. It's almost a shame we haven't seen one around Monarch in a long while.
What can I do
Something
for
else? That's it? Alright. What other quests we got now?
You know what your problem is, Vic? Other than being called Vic? You scienticians got no imagination. That's your problem.
I've imagined you being quiet. It was a nice daydream.
Everything always goes according to plan, right? Ain't that what Scripture tells you?
Scripture also tells us to exercise patience in the presence of the young and the foolish. But I repeat myself.
Alright. See where that's at. Back here in town?
If Velma's capable of running the warehouse, she can certainly pick up her own caffeinoid.
Don't be so hard on her. With Brax missing, she's working doubles and needs a little edge.
But you stop by anytime you like.
Employee login. Definitely don't have 55 in hacking. Hey, Abigail.
Hello, dearie. Why, I don't believe I've seen you before. And with sweet cheeks like those, I'd remember. What can Auntie Abigail do for you?
Best to pick up a caffeinoid supplement.
And what a helpful young man you are. Nothing like a little pill to liven up the spirits. Who's your lucky friend, dearie?
Try that secret from my sweet little cheeks. Nyoka.
Oh, her. It's none of my business, but I have told her Dr. Williams would bump up her monthly allotment if only she'd join MSI. Contribute like the rest of us. Now I've gone and said too much. And you know me, dearie. I don't like to pry.
Must be some way I can increase your allotment.
I'm afraid not. Dr. Williams managed the town's allotments from his terminal upstairs. Even I can't access them.
I can't hack him either. Where can I find this Dr. Williams?
In the town graveyard, I'm afraid. Poor man was always searching for the flower of enlightenment. On the way, he tried some rather daring substance combinations.
Where's the graveyard?
The graveyard's near the southern ruins. You're certainly welcome to pay our respects, but the bodies tend to attract beasties.
You're gonna go tussle with some raptidons? Because I've been practicing my dropkick.
Do be careful. I'd hate for anything to happen to you, dearie.
Have to figure it on my own.
Chin up, dearie.
Well, I don't have the hacking, so I can't do that. Don't get all that close. Graveyard.
Smells like rat in here. Oh, it does work.
Hey, Vic. Got a good one for you. I assure you, I am jittery with anticipation. Grand architects make a Borst pocket so big even he couldn't eat it? Son, the existence of the Grand Architect as a personal and real deity is a fundamental misunderstanding of OSI theology. The architect is largely metaphorical. You understand?
Uh-huh. Keep talking, Vic. I know when I got you beat.
Alright. Get fighting done. Okay, so where exactly are we at here? Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna have a lot of exploring to do. Fantastic.
Once we discover that they get the sights, the sounds. Hey, what's that smell? The trick is not to breathe through your nose.
Stuff's gonna get heavy real quick. I keep picking that up. Eddie's over here.
I have your backpack. Nobody? That's what I thought. You gotta get past that armor!
We'll go back in this corner. Oh, there's more. Poor fellas.
Here we go. Don't make go. Now that is fun.
So we're gonna go back to the corner. Oh, got some dead bodies. A dead body. This over here first. Alright. It said terrace ruins. Slept. I didn't want to sleep. Resting in bed is relaxing and moves time forward. Supernova difficulty. You can only rest in beds on your ship. Okay. Weird about that. What that did? Oh, there's a lot back here. Let's do my level up quick. Probably guns. Hack is at 45. $55. Five. Oh, dang it. Try that again. All right, perks. Scanner. 20% extra bonus to headshot, weak spot damage. Yeah, we'll do that. Oh, well, the +5 or whatever it is, or whatever, extra 55 don't count. It has to be base. Unauthorized access to this equipment may result in injury, death, or unemployment. Alright. Anything else here? Can't unlock it. Alright, doesn't look like I can do anything else here. Go to the graveyard. I think that's where we were gonna head in the first place. Yeah, make it there. Oh, red pops up.
That's the last of it.
Love this gun. Hoping to find some other science weapons, though. Like dead bodies everywhere. You wander all over and they're just everywhere. There's one going to be here. I just love it. Grenade launch him. Where his body's at, though. Oh, there you go. Ballbrook is something like over here or here. Maybe? Yeah. Or bay. This is the graveyard over that way. I have to go this way. I mean, I'll pick up their food, but their meat, but that's probably gonna weigh me down quick. I can probably sell it at a vendor. See through this. I just assumed he was buried here, not just laying out in the open. Alright, we got that part done.